Today's episode of the Trailblazers.fm podcast is sponsored by the Campaign for Black Male Achievement, a national membership network in support of a movement to let the world know that our Black men and boys matter. They're an asset to our communities and our country. And as a nation, we cannot truly prosper when any group of people are excluded and forced to exist on the fringes of society. The well-being of Black men and boys has direct influence on the strength of our families, our communities, and our nation as a whole. My ask, Blazer Nation, is that you'd consider joining and investing in the Campaign for Black Male Achievement as we head into the holiday season. Your contribution is going to help CBMA to amplify and catalyze Black male achievement around the country. To do so, I ask that you'd visit blackmaleachievement.org and select either of the options to join and or donate to this movement today.
You're listening to the Trailblazers podcast, where we will explore the stories of successful Black professionals. Join us as we highlight the knowledge, resources, and tools of these accomplished trailblazers to help provide the know-how, confidence, and motivation you need to blaze your trail. And now, here's your host, Stephen Hart.
Hello, Blazer Nation. Today is the last Monday of the year, and I'm grateful that you're choosing to lend a few precious minutes in this final day of 2018. As we exit one year and we get set to begin another, I reflect on all the blessings I've received by way of Trailblazers, of this podcast. Just in 2018 alone, we were blessed to be a blessing. That's always a prayer of mine, that I'm able to be blessed to bless others. And through the podcast, we were able to do so by sharing the journey of dozens of amazing Black professionals with almost 100,000 people who have listened in 112 countries around the globe. And that never gets lost on me. That's truly amazing. We're also blessed to have had a feature on the homepage of Apple Podcasts. This little Jamaican boy was blessed with my sister Patrice Washington to be on the cover of Apple Podcasts, and had the benefit of several other media features as well. And for some of you, that sounds like a lot, and for others, it sounds like a little, right? And that's fine either way, whichever side of the fence you sit on, because none of this happens if I hadn't gotten out of my own fear just 3 Christmases ago and conducted my very first interview with my brother Donald C. Kelly on December 28th of 2015. I remember that day. I was right after Christmas. I was so nervous. I didn't know if I could become a podcast host. I didn't know if people were going to like my idea, like my approach. Definitely was concerned about people embracing my voice. To this day, I still don't like the sound of my voice, but I'm happy and thankful that you feel differently, right? And so I wanted to wish you and your family a happy new year. I want to encourage you as this new year begins to rise above, go way beyond, and get set to blaze your trail. Next week, we begin our second annual Well series. We're kicking things off with Mr. Chris Hogan of the Dave Ramsey Network. You do not want to miss out on Chris's wisdom and nuggets shared. This is going to be a 6-week-long series. We have some really amazing people in this lineup. It's going to be packed with gems and nuggets of wisdom. So get set to start 2019 off right. Tell some of your friends and family about Trailblazers.fm and help them get on board. Help them to subscribe to the podcast and get the right kind of mission fuel that they're going to need going into 2019 to succeed and to blaze that trail, right? So instead of blabbing on much longer, I thought we could do something fun to take us from 2018 into 2019. So my man, Mike Slavish, big up yourself, our podcast editor, Mike, helped us put together this amazing compilation of maybe 20 or so of our featured guests for this year, sharing their response to the question that we ask all our guests at the end of each show. And so here's their response to the question that I know many of you probably have memorized by now. What's one action our Blazer Nation should take this week that will help them to blaze their trail?
I would say just get started. Stop discounting yourself and discounting what you already know, the knowledge that you already have, and the unique life experiences that will add value to somebody else's life. Somebody truly is waiting on you to show up and to share your truth. So whatever that looks like for you, meaning if it means reaching out to some people that you know already and leveraging relationships that you already have to say, hey, I want to share my story. Can I come into your group? Can I come to your book club? Can I come to your event and just share my story? Because I know I have an obligation to impact other people's lives with my truth. I would say start there by asking for what you want and seeking. Don't wait, create. Don't wait, create the opportunities.
Cheryl Wood, thank you so much. I am blessed for having you as part of this community.
Decide that you're ready to be wealthy. Like, make a choice. Everything comes with a decision. And I believe that decisions come in two forms. Some people make a decision and they're interested in it, and some are committed to it. And people who are interested in it will listen to this interview, Stephen, and they'll be like, oh, okay, that was nice. And they'll wait for your next episode. But people who are committed are going to take whatever nuggets did come out of this and start to apply it immediately, whether that's taking care of themselves, like taking a freaking nap, going to sleep, eating, when you should, what you should, signing up for therapy, or getting back in whatever routine with your spiritual practices. It's like, too many people are interested. It sounds nice, but wealth is a choice. That's another great book by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who's also a mentor of mine. Like, wealth is a choice. You get to choose what you're going to be interested in versus what you're going to be committed to. And if you're committed to building true and lasting wealth, then you'll make a choice to stop making everything about money, because that hasn't worked, and start diving in to the other pillars, the pillars that matter the most.
I think ultimately, if you're an up-and-coming leader, the most successful way to be successful is to be the ultimate teammate, where people know that they can count on you, that you're going to get things done, you're going to do what you say you're going to do, live up to the commitments that you make to others, you're going to listen to others, figure out ways to help your teammates. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I think if you can show up as a great teammate, great success happens. And I think that's some of the reasons I've had some great opportunities come my way, is that people know they can count on me, and I'm going to try to be a good teammate.
Isn't that the type of question that you ask presidents? Jeez. Okay. One action that our community should take this week that would help them to blaze their trail. I think every day for the week, when you wake up, if you don't already do it, I think spend 15 minutes in prayer. Spend 15 minutes with your maker. Ask the questions that you need to ask. Listen for the answers, because they will come, whether you would actually hear the answer, whether it will come in the form of signs, whether it will come in the form of people that you'll see who will deliver a message. I think once you're acute to it, you will receive the message that needs to be received. I feel like we often get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives that sometimes we forget to be still and be silent for just a few moments. So I think spend 15 minutes acknowledging your maker, giving thanks that you have breath to breathe into your lungs, giving thanks that you have the gift of life, and asking your maker what it is that he wants for you to do with your life, or this week in particular, and sharing your needs and watch him manifest and watch things unfold in your life.
I think you should do that thing that scares the bejesus out of you, right? I think so many of us look for safety. And many of us have this dream, this desire that we don't tell anybody about, because how dare we dream that? It's time for you to start acting on that. And then the next question, somebody said, well, what do I do to start? Take one step, whatever that is. And that one step is going to be scary. Stephen Furtick said this quote, and I quote it everywhere because I love it. He said, fear is not the enemy of faith. It's familiarity. And many of us want to grow, but we want to be comfortable. And you heard me say, when I hired my coach, that wasn't comfortable. I was scared to death. I was like, what the heck? What if I can't pay this credit card payment? But I had to risk it all to gain it all in that moment. And so the one charge I would say to you is, what is that scary thing? And just do it.
Get real focused on what do you want to do differently with your relationship with money this year? And who do you need to share that with to make sure that they will hold you accountable to what you want to do.
I want you to get a journal that you're going to use for the next 3 weeks, and I want you to maintain all of your expenses, everything you spend on, and that's going to be a great start. I'm not saying you must do this, but grab a copy of Attracting the Best. If it's not in your budget to grab a copy of the book, then write your own money affirmations and begin to repeat them daily throughout the day. If you come across one or two that are your favorites, put them on your refrigerator, put them on your bathroom mirror, and just start repeating the affirmation every single day. And I guarantee you, whatever it is that you are affirming will come to life.
Decide who you want to be in the world and make sure that the work you do aligns with that. Be honest with yourself, and if it does not, pivot.
So I'm your first military guest. Did we share that with everyone?
Yes, we did not.
So as your first military guest, I'm going to use a military term, right? That everyone can relate to. Do you know what a commander is?
I'm going to say a leader of...
Okay, so leader of people, right? And for us, we are the commanders of our own lives. Mm-hmm. So as commanders of our own lives, Blazer Nation, I recommend that you take a solid evaluation of all the people closest to you in your life. This is what I want you to take away and the action I want you to take this week. Relationships you've built throughout your life, whether it's personal or professional, decide which ones are holding you back. Because sometimes those you keep around are the ones that are toxic for you and your business. So decide which ones you need to let go of and which ones you need to nurture. And do so with courage and grace.
One action. If there's one small thing that you can do every single day to invest in yourself, be that as simple as, you know what, today I'm going to look into what it takes to start an LLC. What is it going to take for me to move my idea out of my head to a piece of paper? And I'm not saying go full throttle and get everything done in one day for your business. But if you just every day commit to taking one step closer to you living out your purpose, you will be surprised at how far you can come in a month, in a year.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying today's episode so far. I wanted to take a short break right here and ask you if you're getting ready to crush it in 2019. If you're saying, Stephen, I'm ready, but your personal brand isn't, I want to introduce you to my personal branding course. It's called Brand You Academy. Now, Brand You Academy is a 6-week online training course I've designed for today's busy corporate and sales professionals, as well as entrepreneurs who are looking to build an amazing personal brand and an impressive digital footprint. At the end of the 6-week program, you're going to come away crystal clear on your mission, your vision, the product that is you, as well as your audience, who you're targeting. You're going to have all your brand elements defined, including your personal brand's color palette. We're going to define a font pairing for you, help you to develop your personal logo, as well as your website. You're also going to come away having clarity on how to brand and optimize your social channels and be ready to wow your future customers, your partners, as well as maybe potential employers. So listen up, someone's Googling you, right? And it's time that you took control of what they are going to find and be certain that your messaging, your visual appeal, it's going to leave them ready to connect with you, do business with you, or hire you. And so due to the level of personal support that I've been providing inside of this 6-week program, I can only bring in a limited number of students for our next launch. And so if you're interested in learning more or becoming part of this next class, this next cycle that goes live in January of 2019, I want you to hop on over right now to tbpod.com/brandyou. That's tbpod.com/brandYOU. I want you to put your name on our waiting list. And the first 50 names on our waiting list are going to receive a $100 discount off the cost of the program for being part of our Blazer Nation, as well as I will have a free gift for my Blazer Nation subscribers. So Don't delay. Start 2019 off by getting the help you need to build your amazing personal brand. Sign up today over at tdpod.com/brandyou.
It's simple. Next time you're at a grocery store or a CVS, buy yourself a composition notebook, one of the ugly ones with like the zebra patterns in the front so nobody steals it or misplaces it and you know exactly where it is. Get yourself one of those and train your mind to remember every time that you say, how come, I wish. You will definitely have a lot of ideas and questions that you can write into that composition book. So always question things and always write them down.
Absolutely. Get a pen and paper, or if you prefer digital, open a notes app on your tablet or your smartphone, Evernote, whatever you got, and send an email to yourself, doesn't matter, and start writing down every single thing you know about the area in which you are most knowledgeable. So if you are basket weaving, then write all the best products to make baskets, the needles you use, the threads, the different colors, where to buy the stuff from, how to actually make it, how much time does it take, who you learn from, what are some great resources, what stores, what arts and crafts stores to go buy stuff from. Write down the topic title of every single thing you know about the area of expertise in which you are the most expert in, of just what you know. So whatever's number one for you, everybody has a number one something, whatever it is. I don't care if it's procrastinating. If that's what you're an expert in, then write it down. Write down everything you know about it. And once you see how many items you have, all right, there you have your YouTube channel. There you have your blog posts. There you have your podcast. There you have your first book. There you have your first online course, which you can sell. There you have a workshop. There you have a keynote speech. Whatever it is you haven't put out yet with the excuse of you don't know what to talk about, the problem is now solved.
I want you to find a difficult conversation and engage. And that's it. Because most of the time you are presented with an opportunity, we feel that signal, something's not right. I should say something. What's going on there? Maybe I should ask a question. Those type of things. We all get those signals, those little twinges in our mind. I should say something, but we are typically programmed to avoid that. And so I want to change your programming and encourage you to take advantage of those opportunities to engage in conflict because there's value on the other side. And even if you don't win or you don't get what you want, you still benefit because every time you practice, you get stronger.
Ooh, so that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think, and this is going to be, I'll just say in like 15, 20 seconds, but for us, right, every time we think about an idea for a business, so if you're some person that's looking to get into entrepreneurship, when we think of an idea for business, it really boils down to two steps. But this is the actual two steps. One, we want to create a landing page for that thing. It's just a one-page website. And once we create that one-page website, our second step is just to get as many people as possible to see it. So for us, every single time, no matter what we're doing, our first action is to figure out how to create a one-page website and start there. And that way, like, you start to take action. Like, you're no longer just reading and consuming information. You're actually doing something. And that would be what I would do. You want to start a business, come up with a one-page website that has it up there. And it's something that could be done for like, $100 or $200, very, very simply. And start there, get people to see it, get them to give you their email address, get them to buy something for $9 or something to start out and get going. And this is very, very doable. That would be the action I would take.
Do a T-graph. Sit down deliberately any day of the week that works for you, that you have at least 1 hour. And do a T-graph. You're familiar with the T-graph?
I am not.
Okay, so you can do this on your devices or you can do it old school, paper and pencil. Some of you may want paper and pencil because when you see the ink marks, you will not be able to make the erasures too. It'll bother you. But do a T-graph. Draw a T across a piece of paper.
Okay.
Above that T, write down the one big thing that has a timeline achievable before end of year. You see, don't get carried away with the big life thing. Just the one big thing you really need to succeed at before end of year or accomplish before the end of this year. And then on the left side of that T facing you, that would be stage right for those of you who are, acting inclined. You're going to write down all the positive steps that you are taking and all of the negative steps that you are taking. On the right side, stage left, you're going to write down what needs to be done, positive and negative. That T is going to start to look like a cross, okay? And then you'll be able to turn that into your SWOT. And it'll be a more honest SWOT than the legacy one that you've done, where strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. If you will start with that T graph, it will help you a lot to be able to do that. Now, I do this anytime I'm going into a new circumstance, whether it's going to require financial investment or whether it's a new protocol that we're going to initiate. I also do it on my personal life, so it comes by nature to me. And I have lots of books. I'm a very device-driven person because, after all, I am the most magnificently mature millennial, right?
That's right.
But you will see that I still buy the books. And you'll find that in my library, one of the things I have the most of in my life are candles, flowers, and books. That's me. And in my library, many of my books are books that I've done my T graphs in. And I've gotten to the point where now my family kind of puts dates on them. And it's been interesting for me to go back and look at some of those T graphs and see the iteration of my life and the success of my business, all example through those T graphs. So it can be excellent and cathartic in journaling, but it's absolute and intentional around building out success plans.
I would say, one of the things that we could do a better job at, and something that will really help us to go out and serve other people. And I just don't feel like that is talked about enough. A lot of times we're so focused on, serving our clients or serving our tribe or serving ourselves that we, spend less time serving our community. And that's one of the things that I've really taken time to do, because I had gotten to a place where I was so consumed with my work that I was not doing that. And I'm talking about with people who cannot give you anything in return. So I have a small mentoring group of 10 young people that I mentor once a month, and teaching them about entrepreneurship, about pitching, about, just life skills and anything that can help them grow. And it is my life's passion. I love those kids. And our program is called Dream Big. And so, just go out and serve someone that, can't give you anything in return. And if we can do that, like circle of life. Hey,
correct you right there. They give you so much in return.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's very intrinsic. Very intrinsic. It definitely does. Yes. So thank you for correcting me there. It's a very intrinsic something. You can't put, it's what is it? What's the commercial? It's priceless. You can't put money to it. So that's why I said you can't get anything in return. But that intrinsic feeling that you get from helping, that's what draws me to want to do it every single month. Yeah. And I'm looking for ways to get these young people fired up about life and their future.
I want to say this and still be loved. Turn off the damn television.
Yes.
Let me repeat that. Turn off the damn television. Please, brothers and sisters. One of the worst habits we have as a people, Black people in America, was revealed in a study that the AC Nielsen Company did last year. Well, actually, it was 2 years ago. AC Nielsen is the company that does all of the ratings for television viewing. And they did a major study on television viewership by cultural group. And it turns out that Black people watch 40% more television than any cultural group in the history of the world. We watch 72 hours of television per week. That's 10 hours of television a day. Any Black person watching 10 hours of television a day, first, needs their behind kicked. Second, they have been turned into a consumption machine, because when you're watching 10 hours of television a day, you are exposed to more than 600 commercials that turns your mind into mush and feeds the habit of consumption. So turn off the television. Wean yourself from 10 hours of television a day. Even if it takes you 2 years and you wean yourself from 10 hours a day to 8 hours a day over a 3 or 4 month period of time, and then to 6 hours a day over a 3 or 4 month period of time, and then to 4 hours a day, this would be good. You cannot amount to anything watching 10 hours of television a day. Take the hours that you're not watching television, start your business, develop another stream of income, do God's work, serve our people. But please turn off the television, or at least reduce the amount of television that you are watching. That's A. And then B, I want each of you to ask yourself a question when you leave this podcast today. It's a deep question. It may take you a couple of years to answer this question, but it's prefaced by the point that I made earlier that everything happens for a reason and serves us in some special way, and we will never understand that reason looking forward. We will only understand it looking backwards. That God has put each of us here with a unique purpose in mind. There's a job that He's assigned only you to do, and if you do not do it, it will not get done in the universe. And we're depending upon you to find out why your Creator has put you here. So here is the question that I want you to ask yourself in the quiet of your own mind. What gift are you holding hostage from our community because of your personal fears? Let me repeat that. What gift are you holding hostage from our community because of your personal fears? What are you not doing because you are scared, that you don't want to take any risks, that you want to live in the comfort of your couch watching 10 hours of television? What are you not doing? Why are you not where you are supposed to be?
Sometimes we have to break things up in life to let it breathe. And I grew up in church, so sometimes you got to say things twice so it sinks in. So I'll say it one more time. Sometimes you have to break things up in your life so they can breathe. Again, sometimes we're working so hard that we don't even give ourselves a minute to think. And sometimes things have to blow up. We have to fail in order for our minds to breathe, in order for life to breathe. And so if you're experiencing any type of setback right now, or you're feeling like everything is just gone to fire right now, that's okay. Sometimes things have to break up so you can breathe. Take a deep breath and say, you know what? I'm okay with that because now I get to rebuild. And sometimes we do have to shake things up and break them up so we can breathe. Okay, that didn't work. We broke that apart. I'm going to take a deep breath and now I'm going to move on. And that ties into not letting things suffocate you and letting your curiosity be bigger than your fear.
If there is anything that people can do right now, if you're listening to this, it is getting on Steven's email list to make sure that you have great brand alignment, because the reality is no one can work with you if you don't have complete and total clarity on who you are, why you do what you do, and who you are trying to serve. So if there's anything you can do to get yourself going today, it's start working on building your brand.
I don't want you to just be inspired and motivated to set goals and to think big and to aim high. I want us to blaze trails. I want you today to begin to bring those ideas you have in your mind, to begin to bring them to paper, to begin to execute on them. I keep saying this over and over. I'm going to keep repeating it. Execution over excuses. Execution over excuses. Let's begin right now to take bold action. Yes, it is scary to jump. Yes, it's not what your family or your friends think it's right for you. If that's the case and your friends are telling you a bunch of nonsense, get rid of those friends, right? But if it's your dream, you can't have other people holding you back because it doesn't align with what they want for you, right? Today, my prayer for you is that you take advantage of the opportunity with your name written on it. And notice, when you take action, it will often come with some challenges. It will come with roadblocks and failures at first, right? There's no question about that. That's going to happen. The first time a baby pulls up to stand, 9 out of 9 times they are going to fall before they can take their first step. Expect that before you can take your first step in pursuing a hustle, pursuing a dream, pursuing an idea, something is going to go wrong. But just like the baby didn't give up, neither should you. So never give up on yourself. Keep grinding, keep trying. Do not give up. Blazer Nation, your hard work will pay off. You will rise above and go way beyond. Well, that's it for today. Thanks again for listening to this episode of the Trailblazers podcast. I'll be posting links to all of today's book recommendations and links mentioned on our show notes page at tbpod.com. If today was your first time listening to the Trailblazers podcast, I just want to extend a warm Trailblazers welcome to you. We're so happy to have you here, and we encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button in your favorite podcast app. Go ahead and browse through some of our past episodes to keep the knowledge flowing. If you're a fan of the podcast and today's content, and you're maybe already subscribed to the podcast, please continue to share and invite your friends, your family, your colleagues to listen to an episode that you think might impact them most. We believe that someone listening to these inspiring stories will be moved to make significant changes that will have generational impact for many others, both now and well into the future. Don't miss next week's episode. New episodes are released each and every Monday by about 5 a.m. Eastern. Trailblazers, jump off this podcast today. Go find a way to rise above, go way beyond, and keep blazing your trail. Cheers.